Okay, so two things. First off, I'm going to ask you a question, which you probably already know because I think the question's going to be in the title. And two, there's a little bit of a Q&A attached to that because I didn't want to just make like a video asking you guys if you wanted to go on a trip with me. So I asked on Instagram if you guys had any questions, and I just screenshotted those. And I'm going to go through them real quick, but in an effort to keep this short and simple and not let myself go on forever and ever, because I'm totally the type of person that could do like a 30-minute Q&A, and we don't need that in our lives. So I am also going to set a timer for myself, and I'm going to kind of just like quickly like skim through the questions like as I'm going and answering and talking to you, and just do as many as I can in 6 minutes. And then that's it. I'm not doing any more because this video does not need to be that long. And then after the 6 minutes, which there you go, there's your timestamp. If you don't care about any of the Q&A, just go to like around 6 minutes minus the intro, which I'll put a number or whatever. And that is where I'll get into the question of like, do you want to go somewhere with me and how that would work and blah, 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 blah. So that's going to be kind of at the end. Real quick, I'm going to set my timer and we're going to do this Q&A. All right, setting my timer. Let's do this. What's the most physically demanding journey you've ever been on? This one time in Arkansas of all places. Yeah. I'd have to tell you about that one day because it was crazy. Do you poop in the woods? Yes, Patrick, I do. I don't necessarily like enjoy it. It's not like exhilarating, but you know, sometimes you gotta poop, you gotta poop. What's the one place out there that you feel most at home with when you return to it? Honestly, at this point, I think I would just have to say the van. Because, like, when I go home, you know, like where my family is and stuff, or even places where I've spent, like, long periods of time, like where I grew up or where I used to live or anything like that, like, it just feels familiar but foreign at the same time. So the only thing that is really constant to me and feels like cozy and comforting and what I think home should feel like is probably the van. Do you ever get bored sitting in the car/van? Yes, sometimes. That's primarily why I started hiking, because I just had nothing else to do. Do you ever get tired of cruise control? I actually don't use cruise control. Do you have a cool road trip playlist? I have a few. How long do you think you'll be living van life? I don't know. I mean, I've been living in vehicles for like going on 6 years now. Like once 2019 finishes, that will be year 6. So it's really hard to say. Like, I don't know how much longer I want to keep doing it, but I don't like, there's nothing wrong with it where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So it's just kind of like, well, we will see what happens. As a hobo, do you smell? Yeah, sometimes. Let's just be real. Do you finally have someone traveling with you? Yes, for the most part. Like, it's not like just like one specific person, but I have been going more on like group things and planning my travel with like friends and family ever since kind of the gas tank thing, because honestly, like, I thought I was over that, but like, I'm not. Do you get lonely? I mean, not like yes and no. Like, yes, because everyone gets lonely, like no matter what walk of life or lifestyle you're living. I only have 6 minutes, so yes and no. Have you ever been to Hawaii? Yes. Yeah, it was great, actually. Are you going to travel to other countries? I want to eventually, but we'll just see what happens. How do you get over the fear of sleeping in your car? I have this set up, but can't seem to do it. Okay, so for me, I liked this question because I was like, oh, that's something that actually, yeah, how did that happen? I don't know. I thought about it. I didn't really ever get over the fear, like, intentionally. What it was is I had to sleep in my car, you know, like once I moved in and I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I was like, I had to go to sleep. So at first I would sleep like, you know, 30 minutes a night, an hour, 2 hours. And it would be so like disrupted because I would wake up at every sound because I was paranoid, or any car that passed by or stuff like that. But eventually I just got to a point where, you know, you sleep deprivation. I was exhausted from sleeping only a couple hours and they were all interrupted like every single night. So eventually I just got to the point where I like didn't have a choice and I passed out and snoozed for the whole night in my car because I was just so tired. And that's just kind of how it happened. I know that kind of sucks because I don't really have any advice for you, but I mean, that was my situation. What is your nationality? I'm actually an alien. That's why I look like an anime character. Do you go on road trips with the same people or different people / groups each trip? It's generally the same group of people. Like, there's only a handful that are usually available to come with me and that I'm comfortable traveling with, especially being in such a close proximity with other people. But it's not like all of them all of the time, if that makes sense. So there might be like 7 people that I travel with, but only 1 to 2 at a time. Anyways, my 6 minutes is up, so let's talk about the travel thing. So yeah, I guess like the whole point of this video is to ask you guys, like, in some form or fashion, if you would like to travel with me, go somewhere with me, hang out with me, that type of thing. Because there's this company called Trova Trip, where essentially what they do is they kind of do the legwork for planning trips, putting it together, the itineraries, the logistics, all of that stuff. And yeah, they plan these trips for groups. And they asked me if I would like to go on a trip and invite all of you guys. So basically, if you would like legit be interested in going somewhere, then there's a link that I will post in the description box, and I'll post it on Instagram and all that. And as of right now, all you have to do is fill out a survey, and then if enough people like fill out the survey and have the same answers, you feel me? Then the company's like, oh, okay, we can start putting a trip together. So yeah, the option's there. If y'all want to try and go somewhere, fill out the survey. Maybe we can all agree on something, and maybe we can go somewhere. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the super quick 6-minute Q&A, and I'll see you guys next time.